back, y'all. Let's go ahead and jump straight into things. All right. So today we're gonna be talking about, obviously your entries. I think a couple people had questions about where you should be getting your entries, or where you should be getting in on entries for the strat. I don't understand why they're so loud, bro. Oh my God. All right. So one of the things a couple people were asking me is like, hey, where's your entries at when you are using the strat? And on top of that, also, where should you be getting a proper risk management, or how should you be getting a proper risk management? So we're going to talk about both of these things. This is something I just literally covered inside of a class of mine. I was just live at like 7 p.m., but the audio was messing up because I was teaching a class as well. So now the audio should be good. Drop a yes down below in the chat if audio sounds good, camera's good, all that good stuff. Let me know down below in the chat if everything sounds good. But yeah, we'll jump straight into things. All right. So very first thing that I want to talk about is when you guys are trading the strat. Obviously, if you guys have came to the classes and the lives that I've done in the past, you guys should kind of understand the strat a little bit. But to kind of answer one of the questions that you guys were asking me is like, hey, where do you execute on the strat? Like, how do you execute on it, right? So the very first thing is, obviously we know what these numbers are when you guys are reading these charts. So you know what a 3 is, you know what a 2 is, you know what a 2 down, a 2 up is, you know what these things are, right? But one of the things that you might still be having trouble with is the execution of it. So when you guys are trading the strat, one of the things to always keep in mind is that when you are trading the strat, you have to wait until the candle prints, right? So like if I see a 3 bar and I know this is an actionable signal, right? So an actionable signal is basically, hey, when you see this candlestick, you are going to do something, right? If you see a failed 2, this is an actionable signal. When you see this candle, you are going to do something, right? So when I'm looking at this candle right here, this 3 bar is an actionable signal. And right now we're currently looking at the 15-minute time frame on SPX. So what I would do is, because the strat teaches us to trade both sides, okay, I'm going to mark out the high and the low of this candlestick, right? This 15-minute 3 bar, okay? Now, the way you execute on the trade when you are trading the strat is you have to wait until this candle fully prints, and then you're waiting for the next candle to break either below or above. That is how you should be entering your trades on the strat. So if it's a failed 2, you should be marking the high and the low, and you're waiting for the next candle to break above or break below. So you're always waiting for the candle to print, as opposed to waiting for, just seeing the candlestick be a 3 and then just taking it while it's a 3. I think that'll drastically change how people are executing their trades. I think a lot of times people might be getting into things a little bit too early. And I think that if you shift how you're executing your trades to maybe looking at, hey, if I'm looking for a 3 bar, right? Why am I taking the 3? You're not taking the 3 while it's live. You're taking the 3, 2. This is the combination. Yo, what's good, Eddie? What indicator is this? This is called Strat. Strat Assistant, if you're talking about this one. Okay. 1 second. Let me have them. Okay. So this is the premise of the strat, right? You want to make sure that you're waiting for the candle to print first. Don't take the candle while it's live, because something I kind of talked about earlier was like candlesticks can move a lot in between this time period, right? So this is a 15-minute time frame, but throughout 15 minutes, this candle was here at one point, it was down here, it was all the way up here, and it was down here. Like, you got to wait until the candle prints. This way you can get confirmation. Now, another thing that I've kind of been noticing for myself is, if you guys have trouble letting trades run, or if you're having trouble with overall like allowing trades to hit their maximal potential, something that I had to get back to, which I kind of got away from, just being transparent, is looking at the bodies of the candlestick. So sometimes traders are getting into trades, right? And you're exiting your trade too quickly. A lot of the times it's probably because you're not letting the candles close so you can get confirmation of the trend is actually continuing or not. So what do I mean by this, right? Well, let's say you look at this candlestick right here, right? This is a 3 bar, but let's say you don't trade the strat. Well, you still have to keep in mind key levels. So if you trade support and resistance, supply and demand, regardless of what strategy you trade, every strategy relies on key levels. So this indicator right here, it marks out this level right here, which is your previous month high. Okay. Notice how it's directly in alignment or very close to this line right here that I have on this 3 bar. Okay. So the way that you would look at this is I'm saying, hey, if this candle breaks below my 3 bar, which is an actionable signal, and it breaks a key level, right, with strength, which is what this is showing me, right? In order to let your trades run longer or let your trades hit their maximum potential, the thing that you need to be looking for is the candle to close. So look at this candlestick right here. I want to zoom in on it. Do you guys see how big the body of this candle is? Like, if you don't know what the body of a candle is, this is this part to this part, from open to close, right? Do you guys see this? Drop a yes in the chat if you guys can see this body of this candle. Okay? Drop a yes in the chat if you see the body of this candle. This bodied candle, right? This bearish type of candle, with it being the size that it is, I would expect more sellers to continue pushing momentum down. Why? Because you have to, like, and I'm building something called the Candlestick Anatomy. It's like a curriculum I'm going to put in my group. And the importance of reading a candlestick and how a body closes on a candle, or how a candle closes, is by far one of the most important things. Again, regardless of what strategy you trade, whether it's strat, supply and demand, whatever it is, right? It does not matter the strategy. Price action is price action. Reading a chart is reading a chart, and a candle is a candle. Regardless of how you trade a candlestick, everyone reads candlesticks the same exact way. A bearish candlestick or a bullish candlestick, period, right? But by allowing the candlesticks to actually print, you actually get to see who is in control. So, some people are selling while this candlestick is open, right? So let's say this candlestick is moving, right? And at one point it's down here, then it comes all the way back out here. And some people will sell their contracts right here. So, let's say they sell for a loss right here. Well, why didn't you just wait until the candlestick printed? Why didn't you wait for confirmation? And the thing is if you're exiting your trades too early, like you're just getting out just because it came back, you're probably risking too much money. You need to size down on your account, right? Like, you're probably just sized up too much. And 9 times out of 10, if you just adjust this small thing and just wait for the candlestick to print, you will have better confirmation of if you should sit in the trade or not. Does this make sense? So, like, if I see a candlestick like this, well, look what it's followed up by. Momentum. And guess where it bounces from? You guys see this little red dot right here? Well, look, if I come all the way over, this is our previous day lows. This is a key level. So you could have targeted out this key level right here. And like I told y'all before, like, all I do is I trade, like, the strat, even though my charts look crazy and stuff, it's the same stuff that you guys have already heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, order blocks, fair value gaps, if you haven't heard of those things. But majority of everything that I trade is support and resistance, right? It's just different terminology, different ways of looking at a chart. A chart is a chart is a chart. How you read the chart, maybe different words and terminology from how I read them. But at the end of the day, we're still kind of looking at the same thing, right? But we're just coming up with a different conclusion. So one of the things, again, is when you're breaking a key level, which is this level right here, this is your previous month high, and I get an actionable signal around this level, well, this is, for me, a high probability trade. What makes this a high probability trade for me? Well, look, one, we swept liquidity, right? So we had these highs right here that we couldn't break above. We got an actionable signal from these highs, right, around a key level, which is previous month high. When the candle breaks, we broke through the key level, which is a previous month high. That is a very strong level, right? When you break through, right, this is what gives me confirmation. Right now, depending on where the price is compared to VWAP, right, is going to be important too. If we are under VWAP, this is like an A+ setup for me. This is an A+ trading setup, because all of these things are just confluence, right? And I don't mean to use these big words, but these are words you're going to have to learn at some point, right? And basically what I mean by confluence is they're all in alignment, right? They're all in alignment. So now at this point, executing the trade for me and for in my group, I mean, that's one of the easiest things. It's just monitoring the trade. I think it's going to be the hardest for a lot of people. And I think that the one gem that I could really give you is allow the trade to play out, right? If you're taking the trade and you're getting out within the first 2 minutes of you executing the trade, then you're not properly managing the money that you have in the trade, if that makes sense. So if you look at the body of these candlesticks and the prices that they're breaking through, or these key levels that they're breaking through, this should give you confirmation of, hey, this is in a trend, it's going with momentum, or it's not. And at that case scenario, you have a stop loss, you have a specific plan that you stick to, and you stick to it. One second, guys. Okay. My heart be beating real fast because you probably over leveraging, bro, to be honest with you. Okay. Okay, cool. So do we understand this now? Drop a yes down below if this makes sense. Drop a yes down below if all of this makes sense. Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay. So let's go over this now, right? I'm new here. Can you explain the strategy? This is called the Strat and Smart Money Concepts. Okay. So I wanna talk about growing an account, right? I want to talk about growing an account. So we're gonna pull this up. And what I'm gonna basically do is I'm gonna pull this and I'm gonna grab this and we're gonna just, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just do this like this. Let me unanchor this and then we'll grab the text box. Okay. So here's the very first thing. When it comes to growing your account, right? When you guys are trading, okay? The first thing is you have to have a plan, right? You have to have a way of executing your trades. And what I mean by this is if you're starting an account with $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000, regardless of how much money you're starting with, you have to have an accurate plan on how you're going to execute, right? Because I think the problem is you're showing up to the market just trying to trade, as opposed to like me. When I show up to the market, I just want to follow my plan. I want to follow everything that is on this right here, this laminated daily trading plan. I want to follow every rule on here, and that is my goal, right? Because what I've learned is when I don't follow the plan that is on there, I tend to lose. So if I just follow these things that I created, because I know that when I win, I do these things and these things are in alignment, and if I just keep doing more of these, I'll win more often, then the goal should be not to trade and make money, but to show up and follow the plan. So, you got to have a plan first. And what I mean by a plan is you got to have a series of events that go on that will allow to, or that will show you that, hey, this is a trade I want to execute on, right? So like when I told y'all like a high probability trade for me is an actionable signal, like a 3 or a failed 2. Those are the only ones I trade around a key level. So it might be previous quarter lows, previous quarter highs, yesterday's highs and lows, right? We're under the VWAP, okay? And let's say we sweep liquidity, right? All 4 of these things in alignment for me personally is a high probability trade, right? So that is my criteria of a high probability trade. What you need to do is find your criteria of a high probability trade now. So if you're trading supply and demand, you might be looking for something else. If you're trading support and resistance, you might be looking for something a little bit different. If you're trading Sol ICT concepts, you might be looking for something else. So you have to have a plan, right? So your plan should include, right, entries and exits criteria, right? Your plan should include entry and exit criteria, your risk to reward. I'm going to caps this because this is extremely important, right? Your risk to reward, right? And time of the day. Okay. So this is what your plan should be including. When am I getting in and when am I getting out? If you're taking a trade, right? Let's say you enter a trade and you don't know where you're getting out when you enter the trade, you shouldn't have entered the trade because you don't have targets. So I call it hopium, right? You're getting into a trade and you're just hoping everything plans out in your favor. You hoping everything just goes your direction, but you're not planning for it to not go in your direction. So you have to have your entries and exits mapped out. Anytime I take a trade, I know exactly where I'm getting in and I know where I'm getting out. This is the first rule. Second rule is your risk to reward. So this is something that, for me personally, I had kind of struggled with in the beginning because I was using a lot of different strategies. Like I said, I paid for a ton of different courses and groups and things like that. So I had a lot of different ways of different things that work, right? So how many of you guys use a 30% stop loss? This is the Strat. Yes, this is the Strat. Right? How many of you use a 30% stop loss or like a 40% stop loss? Comment me down below. So basically, for me personally, right, when I first got started a few years ago, I've been trading for 13 years. That's lit. Okay. I use 30%. Okay, cool. So here's the thing. I've found what has worked best for me, right? That's what most people use, a 30% stop loss, right? Okay, good. So here's the thing. I'm going to make another text box. So for me personally, here's where I started off. One, I was at 30% stop losses. So when I first got when I first got started trading, right, I used to trade with 30% stop losses, right? I used to trade with 30% stop losses, and I would get stopped out all the time. Now, granted, it could have been, me and my execution. I wasn't trading the strat back then, so I didn't have a specific criteria of how I was trading, right? But because I trade a lot of SPX, right? I trade, 0-day contracts a lot, right? 30%, you can get stopped out within a minute. You could take a trade and then 2 minutes later be stopped out of the trade, right? And what I was having trouble with is getting stopped out of trades too early. So one of the things that I kind of learned is like, hey, this 30% stop loss, that's just too tight for the way that I trade. So the thing that you have to add into your plan, right, is your risk to reward. You got to take this into consideration. So what do I mean by a risk to reward, right? So when I'm trading, I need to be looking for a 1-to-2 or a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio or higher, right? So what do I mean by this, right? When I risk $1, I'm trying to bring back 2. I want to risk $1 to make 2. I want to risk $1 to make 3. This is how you grow an account. This is how you focus on compounding or building an account. You have to look for returns, but you also have to know what you're okay with losing. So when I first got started, right, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna have a 30% stop loss. I'm getting stopped out left and right, right, left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. And then I moved on to sizing my trades for 0. So this means every trade that I was taking, I was trading my stop loss. I wasn't leveraging my capital, right? So, if I took a trade, let's say you trade with $100 and you have a 30% stop loss. So you would lose $30. Me, I would just go in with the whole $30 and the trade either goes my way or it doesn't, and I would let it go to 0. But the one thing that I had learned is that my risk to reward started to be off, right? So I'm like, damn, I'm sitting here winning trades, but they're not making up for the losses because they're damn near equal, or my losses are higher than my wins. And then this is when I said, okay, well, what's the median in between these, right? What's the median in between sizing for 0 and having a stop loss? And real quick, if you guys are on TikTok right now, can you guys give me the 10K likes? I'm trying to get to the 1 percentile of TikTok lives. So when I get over, I think they said 10 to 12,000 likes, puts me in the 1 percentile of TikTok streams. So if you guys can get me there, if I'm providing any value at all, please make sure you guys spam the like button. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button as well, okay? So back to what I was saying, what is the median in between these two? Well, the median in between this is, for me personally, a 50% stop loss. I'm looking for a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, right? So when I risk $1, I'm looking to bring back 2, right? Now, in this case scenario, right, I can still compound my account now. So what do I mean by compound my account? I can get 30%, 40%, 50% trades that compound over time. Now, granted, are those huge wins? No, right? But the times that we do trade and the things that I'm about to show you that will get you to those 200% trades, 300% trades, 500% trades, it makes it easier for you to be able to execute and actually grow your account. So in order to grow your account, 1, you have to have your entries and exits already mapped out before you take the trade, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. The second thing is you have to have a proper risk to reward. How much am I risking and how much is my potential reward? If I'm gonna risk $1, I wanna bring back $2. If I'm gonna risk $10, I wanna be able to have the opportunity to bring back 20. And then when it does go crazy and it goes and gives you back a 1-to-4 or 1-to-5, that's just a plus. But when you lose, you keep your losses small, and you keep your wins bigger than your losses. Is everything making sense? Drop a yes in the chat right now if everything is clicking right now. If everything is clicking, drop a yes in the chat. Okay? And then we'll move on to the next thing. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Can you give an example of a 50% stop loss? Yes. So let me give you guys an example if some of you guys are a little bit newer. So a 50% stop loss will look like this. I'm gonna type it right here, and then let me move this over because I think, okay, this should be good right here. So let's say 50% stop loss. So here's how I would trade my account. This is like a formula that you guys can use. This is a mixture of things that I've learned over time, right? So you're risking 30% of your capital as a stop loss. Absolutely not, no. So just watch this. I'm about to explain it right now. So here's how, if I'm trying to grow a $1,000 account, here's how I will grow a $1,000 account. I would say, hey, $1,000 is what I'm starting with. I'm gonna multiply this by either 3.5% or 5%, right? So what does this mean? If I take this and I multiply this by 3.5%, right? This is equivalent to, let's go ahead and move this over, $35, okay? So this is how much money that I'm leveraging on the trade. And then when you have a 50% stop loss, basically what a stop loss is basically telling, you know, Webull, Robinhood, Thinkorswim that, hey, I'm ready to get out the trade. This is the most I'm willing to lose. So in this case scenario, I would have a 50% stop loss on my $30, which means I'm okay with losing $17.50. Does this make sense? So if the trade goes 100%, I make $35. If the trade stops me out, I lose $17.50. This is a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio. Does that make sense, guys? Is everybody tracking me? I know, you know, math can be a little difficult sometimes. Now, let me stop. Right? But like, is everybody tracking me on some, like on a real note? Is everyone paying attention right now? So what this is allowing me to do now is, one, the reason that I had to switch to this is because 30% stop loss, I'm not gonna lie, it's just too tight for me personally, right? Like the way that I trade, it's just too tight of a stop loss. So 50% gives me my trades enough room to be in drawdown. What I mean by drawdown is like when a trade is in red, I'm not just gonna close it because it's red, right? Like I need to be able to sit in it. And if you don't know how to sit with your emotions while you're in a red trade, you need to conquer that first before you keep trading. You should probably be paper trading. But if you're already okay with that, if you're a little bit better than, you know, others when it comes to that, then you're good, right? I think the thing is you have to adjust your risk to reward, you know, strategy. Okay. So where do you get the 1,000 from? That's how much you uploaded into your account. Would you try to grow 35% daily, or what time frame? No. So I'm gonna explain all that. I just want to make sure everyone gets this. I'm not seeing enough yeses down below in the chat, so I need to see more yeses in order to move on from this. I hate moving on and then people be lost and all that stuff. Like I would rather y'all just fully understand it. So just drop a yes. $35, not 30. Exactly. 3.5% of my account. Okay, good. Everyone's tracking me. Okay, perfect. So this is how I will go about building my account, right? So when I'm utilizing a strategy like this, right, you can look for 2 to 3% on your account per day. And then let's say, you know, you have, I don't even know how to navigate the app. I use Fidelity Active. You just gotta watch a YouTube video, bro. What's up, Seth? Hope all is well. So with using this strategy, the reason I feel like this is important is because even if you have a 40% win rate, you can still end off the week profitable. Does that make sense? You can lose 6 out of the, or you can lose, what's that? Yeah, you can use 6 out of the 10 trades that you take that week and still end up profitable. When somebody might be like, well, how does that work? Well, it's called proper risk to reward. I made sure that for every dollar I was sending out, I could get 2 back. So even if I lost 6, the 4 that I won made me more than the 6 that I lost. Right? So like if I were to bring this up in like a case scenario, right? Like on a spreadsheet. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring up this one right here. Okay? So like let's look at this, right? Let's say you have a $1,000 account. Let's put this at 0. Let's put this at 0. Let's put this at 0. And actually, I think it would be better to just show y'all this one here. Let's go back. Damn, I just messed it up. 1 second, y'all. Where's the undo button on here? Damn, I don't even think we can use this one right now. We're not gonna be able to use this one. I just messed up the calculations on it. Fudge nuggets. Okay, so let's just pull up a calculator. Let's go back to trading view. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull up a calculator. So let's look at how the math works when you're doing this. Okay. Control Z. Oh yeah, that's how you undo it. I don't know why the undo button wasn't showing. So let's just look at this for right now. Right. Let's look at this for right now. So let's say you have a $1,000 account. This is how you're going to do the math. Every morning when you're about to trade, this is how you would do it. If you're trading options, if you guys are trading futures, don't really know what to tell you, right? Or Forex, really don't know what to tell you, right? But for this case scenario, say you have a $1,000 account, right? You go in today, let's say it's Monday, right? You're going in with 3.5% of your account, right? With a 50% stop loss. So you're going to risk $17.50. And here's the thing, you can take 50% profits, 80% profits, 100% profits. We have trades that go further than that, right? But the biggest thing is you want to make sure that your wins are out compounding your losses. So even if, let's say, you know, you have a $1,000 account and let's say you lose 2 trades in a row. So you're down $35. Well, your account size is now at $965 now, right? So the problem is when people are over leveraging with a smaller account, what tends to happen is you end up blowing your account within 4 to 5 trades. You don't even give yourself enough reps to be able to learn your strategy or make adjustments because you're sizing up so much. So the key to doing this is not trying to, like, again, people are trying to show up and make money in the market. I am showing up and following my plan. When I follow my plan, a byproduct of following my plan is making money. I am going to repeat this, okay? I'm going to repeat this. There are too many people trying to show up and make money in the market. My goal is not to make money in the market. My goal is to protect my capital and then make money. That is the protect capital first, make money second. Because you got to be able to live to trade another day. There's too many people trying to hit a home run right out the gate. Well, guess what? Every home run you go for, there's about 10 that you miss. So if you don't give yourself enough room to be able to strike out 10 times, and then maybe on the 11th or the 14th or the 15th time actually hit the home run, you're blowing your account. Your goal is to follow your process, exactly. So like my goal is, and this is another thing, my goal isn't to keep up with the Joneses. I don't care what traders on Twitter is doing. I don't care what traders on YouTube is doing. I don't care what your favorite trader on Instagram, or I don't care. I don't care, because how is that affecting my P&L? Me caring about what they're doing, is that affecting your P&L? No. Don't buy into all the stuff that does not matter. You are trying to build something that can take you away from your job. You are trying to build something where you can have more time to spend with your family. You buying into everything else is doing the direct opposite. The best version of you would tell you to stay focused. So why aren't you listening to that person every day? But yet you can open up your phone, you can buy into all the BS and all the stuff that is there to distract you. Close out the distractions and watch what happens to the P&L. What is P&L? Profit and loss, right? So let's say you lose 2 trades in a row, right? Well, look at this. Your account is at $965 from 2 lost trades. You shouldn't get down about yourself. At least you're not down $500 in your account. $200, that's 20% of your account. In this case scenario, you're only down 3.5% of your account. But look at this, right? Let's say your account is at $965, right? And let's say, you're risking 3.5% on your account, right? And let's say on a trade, right? So let's do the math together. 3.5% of your account, $33, and you're keeping a 50% stop loss. So you're still okay with losing about $16. But let's say this trade goes 200%. Let's say you catch SPX in the beginning of the day when it broke through a key level, right? And it gave you a 200% trade, which happens very often when you trade SPX. But let's just say that happens. Well, you multiply this by 200%, right? Well, you just made $67.55. So when you add 965, which is where your account is, and this is your profits, your account is back over and you're in the green. So one win outweighed 2 of the losses. Even if you're compounding and taking profits at 30 or 40%, if you have 3 trades in a row that make you 30%, right, or 40%, your account, right, that's 90% total. And let's say the next trade loses 50%, you're still up 40%. So having a proper risk to reward ratio is extremely important. And if you're blowing accounts, it's because you are leveraging too much capital. So how do you do this? You go to your account size, whatever your account is, whether it's $5,000, $10,000, whatever it is, you take between 3.5% or 5%. That is how much money you have to trade with for that day. That is how much you're trading with that day, not per trade, per day. I'm going in with 3.5%. I'm setting a 50% stop loss. My target, I want to at least get a bare minimum of anywhere from 60 to 100%. And then I want to let runners be runners. What do I mean by runners? If you buy 3 contracts, you sell the first 2 of them, right, when you get to 100%. And then you can let the last contract run. Meaning you can let it go and see if it brings back more money, higher percentages on that last contract. This is how you efficiently take profits. Where do you trade? I trade on Webull. Okay? Does all of this make sense before we move on? So just to kind of quickly go back over, right? 1, you need a plan, right? Entries and exit criteria, you have to have these mapped out before you execute on a trade. Number 2, proper risk to reward. Are your wins outweighing your losses? Are your wins outweighing the losses? If you can catch a 40% win 3 times in a row and then lose and wipe all of your losses, right? Or if it wipes all of your profits, you're not sizing right. You're not sizing right. 3.5% of $1,000 is not $350, bro. It is $3. It is $35. It is $35. Trust me, I compound. We grow with small counts inside of my Discord. Okay? I'm telling you, we gotta. I don't know what's going on. Something in the water. Something in the water. All right. So here's the next thing. No, you're good. You're good. I thought you meant 350. All good. No, I wasn't trying to cook you or nothing. I was just saying. No, you're good. I'm not making fun of you or anything like that. I was just saying. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. Can I move on from this, y'all? Can y'all give me confirmation that I can move on from this? Can y'all give me confirmation? I need a bunch of yeses. Actually, I need 30,000 likes on TikTok. 30K likes. We're at 19K. TikTok, my TikTok rep said we're doing pretty good. I'm still in the top 6 percentile of live streamers on TikTok. Do y'all understand how crazy that is? Top 6% of live streamers? It's pretty lit. It's pretty lit. Okay, good. Yes. All right, perfect. All right, cool. Let's move on. Let's talk about the time of the day. I want to show y'all something, right? I think this is very interesting, and I think this will drastically help a ton of you in here. And I think what's most important for a lot of traders is that you might be trading at the wrong times of the day, right? So like, let's just say I remove all these lines and stuff, right? We'll stick to this time frame, right? So I want y'all to take a look at this real quick. I'm gonna scroll all the way down here, and I want y'all to pay attention to this over here. Y'all see these right here? Y'all see these right here? This is called the volume indicator, right? This is the volume indicator. This is how much money or orders is coming into the market during particular time frames. Okay, this is the volume, right? How much volume is coming in, right? So one of the things that a lot of people I feel like might have trouble with, if you're a beginner trader, this is something that, I didn't know until like a couple months into my trading. So if you just take this, you know what I'm saying, you can go a very long way. There are certain times of the day where you want to trade, and there are certain times of the day where you do not want to trade. The times you do want to trade is the first 2.5 hours of New York session, right? So if you guys are trading options, the market opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. You want to take trades all the way up to 12. That is the time interval. The only other time that you would trade is the last hour of the day, which is 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern before the market closes. The reason that you want to trade at these time frames is because this is when the market is the most liquid, or this is where you're having the most volume. So this is where most of the traders are going to be trading at. This is where the biggest moves in the market are going to happen at. Another key element that you have to think about is that if we know that whales, people with a ton of money, people on Wall Street, banks, investors, things like that, if we know they move the market, well, from the times of 12 to 2, and they're at work and they're moving the markets and they're clicking buttons and making profits and things like that, between 12 and 2 is lunch break. So majority of the volume, look at this. Do y'all see how the volume just stops right here? This is at 11 a.m. The volume ramps up, and then by 12 o'clock, look at the volume just completely die off. And then notice the volume comes back up and it starts ramping back up around 3 o'clock. So the times of the day that I trade, this is like my direct strategy. I only trade between the first 2.5 hours of the day or the last hour of the day. That is how I personally trade. Is this making sense, y'all? I only want to trade where there's going to be volume at. I only want to trade where there's going to be momentum. I only want to trade when we're breaking key levels. I want to trade high probability. If you're trading something, right? Like let's say you're taking a trade and it's at 12 o'clock. Well, you just get chopped up right here because you have to deal with theta. Can you repeat that? Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Between the times of 9:30 a.m. to about 12 p.m., this is where you're going to have the most volume in the market. It's either going to be the first 2.5 hours of the day or the last hour of the day. I only want to trade those times. And the thing is like people be like, but bro, This setup came at 1 o'clock, and I'm telling you, you gotta take the trade. It's the one. This is the one to go 1,000,000%. People say that. It's cool. That trade is not meant for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's supposed to do what it's gonna do. It's gonna do what it's gonna do without me, and that's great. You gotta know when to say like, yeah, this trade is for me, and when a trade is just not for you. And I had to learn how to do that. That's a very hard thing. Like, some people, like, y'all are looking at this. Some of y'all are watching this right now. Y'all are like, man, he don't know what he talking about. I could trade every day. I could take every trade set up. I'm going to be profitable. I'm going to be winning. I don't care what he talking about. And what I'm going to tell you is, all right, you got to learn your lesson. It's like a kid. It's like one of them real bad kids, right? They are just off the chain. They climbing on boxes, they looking back at you, and they know they're not supposed to be up on the box, but they're trying to grab the light, but then they end up falling. You got to let them learn their lesson. If you keep trying to baby a kid and they don't learn their lesson, when they get older, they're going to think that you're going to always be there to baby them. So when they make mistakes at a grown person of age, now the repercussions are a lot higher. But if you let them learn their lessons when they're young, it translates to when they get older. So I think the thing is like, people are just going about things just a tad bit wrong. I think it's just small adjustments. If you adjust your plan when you show up to the market, if you have one of these, right? So what I would recommend to everyone, if you're trading without a trading plan, you are absolutely cooking yourself. 100%, 1,000%, a bajillion percent. You are cooking yourself. You are donating money to the stock market if you do not have a trading plan, okay? You are donating. You are the top donator of the month. Okay? So get you a trading plan, and you know what you type out? Preparation, pre-market. What am I doing during the pre-market analysis? What time should I be up? You should not be waking up 10 minutes before the market opens. Why? Like, you're not prepared. You should not be waking up 10 minutes before the market opens. Right? You want to be writing down the tickers that you're going to trade. What tickers do you trade? Me, I trade SPX. I only trade one ticker. I trade 1 to 2 tickers. I either trade SPX or I trade IWM. Period. I don't deviate from the plan. Right? Trade execution. What is the criteria for you to take a trade? What is the criteria? What is your risk management? How are you going about adjusting your risk? On the back, journaling. Are you journaling after your trades? I get it. Some of y'all might be like, man, journaling is BS. I don't need to journal. But if you don't remember what you did last week on Tuesday that lost you a trade, and you can't correlate if that trade there, that same mistake is the same mistake that made you lose the trade tomorrow, if you can't do that, you're not making improvements. You're just trading just to trade. And you will continue to donate money to the market. Post-market reviews. And then, are you improving? Are you watching videos? Are you, like, I'm not saying y'all got to join my group. My group is actually closed right now. So even if you wanted to join my group, you couldn't even do it. You couldn't even pay me to join my group, which means that I have nothing to sell you right now. I have no reason to be here other than to just give you information that I feel like has helped me. I have nothing to sell you. Everything is closed. Anything that you could pay for from me, it's not available. Sorry. So it's like, now at this point, the best way to look at this is like saying like, hey, well, if that's the case, well, at the end of the day, I just got to take what he's saying and look at it myself, do my own due diligence to see if it makes sense for me. See what I'm saying? So I think the biggest thing is like, if you can learn how to stick to that plan that we talked about, right? If you can learn how to say, hey, I'm not going to deviate from what I'm doing, right? This will make things easier for you, right? So now when we're looking at a setup, think about how I'm looking at this, right? If I'm looking at this, right? So let's rewind this so we can kind of get an analysis of this, okay? So this is this trade on Friday, okay? This is the trade on Friday. So this is how I will go about this. So first off, the first thing I'm looking at is the different time frames. So I would first do top-down analysis. What is that? Somebody has a camera. Some things called them little flying helicopter camera things. So the first thing that I would do is I would do top-down analysis. I would start off at the week or the day, and I would work my way down. And I would chart out all the levels. I want to see where everything is. Next, for me, when I trade SPX, I'm looking at the 15. Yes, a drone. I don't even think my property allows drones. So that's the crazy part. That's why I'm like, caught me off guard, right? So first thing I'm doing is I'm pre-market. I'm already in the market. I'm looking at everything. I'm reading the news. I'm seeing what data comes out today. I'm seeing if Trump speaks today. I'm seeing what if NFP is today. I'm seeing all the data, right? CPI, PPI. I need to know what's going on today. If there's data that comes out at 10 a.m. Eastern time, I'll wait before taking any trades until the data comes out. Because if I take a trade before data comes out and I'm on the wrong side of the market, the majority of the momentum will continue going in the opposite direction of where I entered at. You see what I'm saying? Kay, what's up? The GOAT herself. I need you to teach me some lessons, you know? I think I'm doing pretty okay right now, though. Just a little. I'm trying to get like you, though, you know? So I'll wait until data comes out. If it's at 10 a.m., I'll wait until 10, right? Is this recorded for YouTube? Yes, it is, right? You can go to Forex Factory to get the data, okay? Forexfactory.com. That'll show you all red folder data. Red folder is like most important stuff, okay? Most important stuff. So if it's PPI or CPI or FOMC or Powell speaking, I'll wait until that event happens because I know majority of the volume, majority of traders are going to wait for the same event. If I trade momentum, if I trade volume, I want to wait for everyone else to want to jump in too. If I know institutions run the market, I want to wait to see what they do with their money before I jump into anything. You're doing great. Thank you. I appreciate that, Queen. Keep up the great work. I'll be seeing your lives. I was in there earlier. Right? So I understand that. That's how I'm coming into this trade. What data is happening today? Okay. I'm checking my mood first off, right? Did anybody piss me off? Did somebody, you know what I'm saying, say something crazy on social media and the first thing I do is I open up my phone and I see something crazy, right? Like, no, I don't even check my phone in the first hour of the day. Okay? The second thing I'm doing is, like I said, I do my top-down analysis and then I go down to the 15-minute time frame. So let's say the market opens, right? Okay, perfect. On Friday, right, you had NFP, right? You had NFP come out. This is data. So usually the first 15 minutes of the market being open is an amateur move. So usually I don't take trades in the first 15 minutes of the market. I'll usually take my trades after around 10 a.m. Eastern because I don't want to get caught. It's like at 10 a.m. it's called reversal time or trend time where we can have a strong push up and then it'll reverse at 10 a.m. and it'll make the real move. Okay. So this is an actionable signal. How do I read this chart though? Okay. First off, if I were to zoom this out just so everyone can see this, the first thing I'm looking at is, hey, this is an actionable signal. So this 3 bar is happening where on the chart? What does this body of this candle look like? How do you read this candlestick, right? Well, the market opens, we push up strong with momentum to these recent highs of these candlesticks over here. So look at this. You come back to these same highs. You reject the high once. The next candle opens. It tries again. It says, hey, we're going to give this another try. And it fails, right? So it pulls all the way back down to an order block, right? And it doesn't break through the order block yet. So that's fine. Cool. But this is a bearish candlestick, right? This is a strong bearish move. This whole candle ate this whole candle. This is a lot of sellers coming in. So now the next thing that I'm looking for is I'm saying, hey, okay, perfect. If part of my strategy, if you guys were to read my trading plan, yes, this is in my group. On my strategy, I only trade either 3s or failed 2s. I either want to trade volume and momentum and volatility, right? Or I want to trade reversals around key levels. So what do you mean around key levels, Tez? It's not clicking. Okay, let's make it click, right? So look at this. The first thing that I'm looking at is the body of this candle and where it is compared to the chart, the rest of the candlesticks behind it, right? So look at this candle around an order block, but we're down here. If I were to zoom in right here, this is previous week highs. This is previous week highs. This level right here, 65.23, right there is previous week highs. This right here is previous day highs. So these are the next likely places that price would bounce from. These are the next support levels. If price is over it, right? If price is over these levels, this is now support. If price is under these levels, it is now resistance, right? So what happens is this candle closes like this. So now someone else just said it, right? You have a fair value gap to the downside as well. So you have this as well. You have a gap to the downside. Here's another thing. Gaps either get filled or they will continue. A gap will either come through and fill, or it'll continue in the opposite direction of the gap. That's just the criteria of a gap, right? So now when you see this, right, I have key levels right here. I'm telling you, this is exactly how I trade it. You have key levels right here, and you have an actionable signal right here. So this is what I mean when I be tweeting or I be posting about stuff and I say, hey, all I do is I wait for actionable signals around key levels. This is what I mean by that. I am waiting until we get a signal around key levels, higher time frame support and resistance. That's all the key level is. On a higher time frame, it's support and resistance. And I'm waiting for a break. And when it breaks through, it drops all the way down, right? Comes past previous day close, and the candle closes like this. So if the candle, if I know candlestick anatomy, if I know how to read a candlestick, I know that if the body of a candlestick closes like this, even if all my indicators are off, if you're just reading a candle, if a candle closes like this means that sellers are in control. So trying to catch a bounce off this level is asking to donate money to www.thestockmarket.com. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're asking to donate money. You are running a fundraiser. You are donating all of your money to them. That is what you're doing. Because you're not reading a candlestick. A chart is a chart is a chart. I want you to remember that. A chart is a chart is a chart. Everyone's looking at the same levels. How someone else's chart is marked up is just their way of understanding the chart. Is their way of understanding price action. Right? So your entry was here. Your target is down here. This is liquidity. This is the last. Where's the next likely place that price will bounce from? Right here. Because we bounced from here before. We sold off, we bounced, and we came higher. So now price is coming back to revisit this level. This is also an order block. Well, why is this an order block? An order block is just when institutions or smart money, right? Whales, people with a lot of money, that's just all just same names, just different way of saying it, right? This is where whales started buying in. Around this price range, this is where this strong move came from. It's them placing their orders. So guess what? Best believe when price gets back there, this is either a place where they're going to want to buy more, or they're going to go with the momentum and they're going to continue selling. And in this case scenario, when we get to this level, look what happens. You drop down to where? Another key level, Monday's highs, and you close under Monday's highs. So what would be confirmation for me to stay in this trade? We'll look at the body of the candlesticks, the body of this candlestick, the body of this candlestick. That's what's keeping me in the trade. Well, where's the next likely place that price will bounce from? Previous week close or Monday's lows. These are the next levels, the next targets, right? Well, look what happens. Price comes down. You come over here to previous week close. Next candle comes to Monday's highs to the cent. And look what happens. You bounce off of it. Is this making sense? Like the way that I'm walking through it or the way that I'm explaining this, is it kind of like clicking for y'all? Like regardless of how beautiful someone else's chart looks or how simple somebody else's chart looks, at the end of the day, it does not matter what other people think about your chart. As long as you understand what price is doing and you can make educated decisions based off of what you're reading on the chart, you're fine. I drown out all the noise. I know y'all be seeing it. When y'all be seeing all the crazy stuff in the chat, I be just ignoring it. Because at the end of the day, it just shows that somebody just didn't take the time out to understand how they can read this. And that's fine. Get the shares up, y'all. Hey, I gotta pay you for a consultation, to be honest with you. I don't want nothing free from you. I just want to pay you for a consultation. Maybe like 30 minutes or an hour, just put me on game on this live stream and stuff so I can, you know what I'm saying, run it up. I'm getting there, but need to learn more. Good. This is probably your first time, Kenny. So you good. This is good for business. So you got to wait it out for a few days? What do you mean? Wait it out for a few days. I got you. Yeah, just send me over your prices and everything, and just send me an invoice. This just made me follow you because I hate people who trade that does this, and I want to learn. So, and all of this happened in the beginning of the day, y'all. So some of you might be asking like, hey, what time frame is this? This is the 15-minute time frame. This is the 15-minute time frame. So this is 15 minutes. This is 15 minutes. This is 15 minutes. This is 15 minutes. So at this candlestick, this is 11 a.m. Watch this. When 11 a.m. comes, or when 12 p.m. comes, look what happens. Price starts chopping up in the zone. Look at this. We get stuck in this range for about 2 hours. So anyone trading around lunchtime is getting smoked. They're getting smoked. My P&L for the year is minus 17,000. I quit. Carrington, here's something I want to tell you. About 8 months ago, my portfolio was down about $38,000, and I almost quit. But I asked myself, what does it look like to win? Well, in order to win, you have to be willing to go through all the BS. I made a post about this recently on my TikTok, so you guys can probably see it, right? But like when you choose to be successful, you are choosing to endure more than every other individual out there. This is what it feels like to go down the path that you're trying to go down. And I get it. It feels like a lot of money right now, but when you understand the things that made you lose that money, the money that you make, this will be such a small amount of money. The small amount of money that you lost right now, this will be such a small dot in your journey that when you making the type of money you want to make, you'll be grateful that you lost that 17K. Because there's going to be times where you come up on trades where you might lose 15K in a trade. And you could be like, oh, okay, it's just 15K. So you got to change your perspective. You got a ton of lessons. You pay market tuition on $17,000. I get it. It's painful. It's hurtful. I've been down multiple. Just take my word for it. And I've built accounts back up. I kid you not. The portfolio on my Robinhood, if I were to just open it up for y'all, right? At one point in time, it was down $37,000. I brought it back from down $37,000 to up $53,000 in the matter of 4 months. But guess what I had to do? I had to sit down and follow my plan. I had to sit down and drown out all of the noise. I had to sit down and make a choice. I said, hey, I'm gonna either keep doing the same things that got me to where I am right now, or I'm going to actively make a decision to do better. I am going to do all the opposite of the things that are currently getting me where I am now. I'm going to do the opposite of those. So if you're not waking up early enough before the market opens, then I'm going to start waking up earlier, right? If you're not properly risking your trades properly, if you're not, keeping in mind your stop losses, well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to show up and I'm going to make sure I stay on top of those. You just pay market tuition. That's all. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? It might be embarrassing. You might even type in that. I commend you because it takes a lot of courage to say something like that where, on social media, a lot of people be talking crazy. But like, I'm not one of those people that's going to judge you. I've been down way more money. And I know that if you just dial in, you can make the money back. You feel me? I love that market tuition. Nah, for real. You just pay a little bit of market tuition. Y'all going to college and y'all paying all this money for college and ain't getting no return on it until 20 years later. But now when you pay market tuition in this field, oh, wow. Now you got to take the glasses off. We got to call Dukes and we telling them we moving back in. See what I'm saying? And by the way, guys, like I don't have nothing to sell y'all right now. I'm just being completely honest with you. So a lot of the stuff that I trade, the way that I trade is very, like, I think that if I just keep doing these streams and you keep coming back, like if you have not hit the follow button, you should probably just hit the follow and like just come back to another live, you know what I'm saying? And just like keep actively looking for the information, right? And drown out the BS. When you see the BS in the chat, just don't even think about it. I don't even think about it. I don't even read them no more. As soon as I read the first sentence of some BS, it's like, okay, cool. Like what's going to move the needle for me? And you got to ask yourself that question like on a day-to-day basis. What am I doing that's going to move the needle forward? You doom scrolling is not moving the needle forward. I was on your live Friday, made some money. That's lit. I think you were talking about Thursday. Or did I trade Friday too? I can't remember. My memory is so garbage. What time frame do you chart the pre-market? So when it's pre-market, I go down from the. So this is a rule of thumb. If a new week starts, so let's say tomorrow is Monday, I'll start off on the weekly time frame, and I'll go to the week, the month, the day, the 6 hour, the 4 hour, the 2 hour, the 1 hour, and then I'll trade off the 15-minute. If it's Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, I go from the daily to the 6 hour, 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour. Okay. Yo, guys, we're almost at 50,000 likes on TikTok. Can you guys give me the 50,000 likes before we get off here, please? I would be extremely grateful. If you learned anything at all, just as I'm talking, just spam it. Spam it, please. Please. Please don't clip me. Clippers, do not clip that part, okay? I paid my tuition Friday during that BS afternoon chop. It happens. It's all good. On to the next. Here's one rule of thumb. So a lot of you guys may not have known, right? I don't have an ebook, by the way, Charnay. I don't have an ebook or anything like that, unfortunately for you guys. So I have a free group. It's in my bio. It comes with like a 6-hour course that you guys can watch. The only other thing that I think a majority of you guys would be interested in is I do have a live workshop coming up on the 21st of this month. So it's going to be Sunday, the 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be private. So unfortunately, I can only seat 1,000 people in the Zoom call. Zoom has restrictions and limitations on how many people can join the Zoom. So I only have 1,000 slots that I can have open. It's free to reserve a spot. So all you have to do is, I'll just kind of give you guys the steps. If you were to just go over to my TikTok account, like if you click the top of my profile right now while you're on the stream, here's the steps. You click the top of my profile, you click on my account, you come over here and you click the link in my bio that says Linktree. Okay? When you click Linktree, you click the very first link right here, and it's gonna be this link right here. When you click this link, it's gonna bring up a form, right? Everything that we're gonna go over in the live, the workshop on the 21st. Right, it's going to go over everything. It's going to be about 2.5 hours long. It's going to be a private class. I have a PowerPoint session. I'm just going to be teaching you stuff like the Strat, smart money concepts, and things like that. All you have to do is scroll to the bottom and click Save My Spot. The next time you guys look at this, if there's no slots available, this button will be grayed out and you will not be able to register. I apologize. I can only seat 1,000 people. It is not my fault. It is Zoom. Okay, so that's how you register for it. At the moment, my group is completely closed. I'm not selling y'all nothing, but at the end of the day, you can join the workshop. And when you guys join the workshop, there is like a prep kit that you guys can get that comes with a lot of information as well if you guys want that. But other than that, that's the only thing I have to offer you outside of my free group, which is also in my bio. So anything you need from me is always going to be in my bio. Okay. So if I were you, if you like this type of information and you like the Strat and smart money concepts and everything I'm saying is clicking for you, all you got to do is just click my account. Make sure you hit the follow button while you're there. Go to the link in my bio, click the day trading options one, right? And reserve a slot. It's free, so just make sure you're there. This is not for you if you're completely broke, okay? If you're the type of person where you don't have a 9-to-5, you don't have an active income, or you don't have at least a few $1,000s liquid to trade with, that workshop is not going to be for you. I'm just going to be completely transparent. Just go to my YouTube and watch the free information that's on there. But if that is you, if you're in that criteria, you have a 9-to-5 and you make good money and all that good stuff, and you want to learn how to, grow an account, that workshop is for you. So just go click the link in my bio. And I promise you'll be satisfied with the information that I give you. And worst case scenario, I give you some information that is far better than most of the paid stuff that you have out there. Will you go over broadening formations on the workshop? So that's the thing. I want to go over broadening formations in a live stream. The only issue is that I feel like so many people don't trade the Strat. So the moment I start talking about broadening formations, I think it's just going to take it to a whole nother level of complication for people. Or am I wrong? I don't know. This is something I really thought about yesterday because I was going to do the stream yesterday evening. And I'm like, man, I really want to teach broadening formations because I use broadening formations when I trade SPX. And when I say it's on point, it's on point. But I just think a lot of my audience right now who are coming to these streams outside of YouTube, because a lot of people from YouTube is going to be from like my Twitter. And shout out to all my Twitter followers. Those individuals are a little bit more advanced in trading. So like, if you guys don't know, like, Twitter is like my main platform that I'm focused on. These streams is just stuff that I like to do just to communicate more with you guys on different platforms. But yeah, I think that, for the majority of people already looking at the Strat is difficult. You know what I'm saying? I think broad formations, I might just do a separate live strictly for that. Are you live trading this week? Yes, I'll be live trading this week. I feel like people would just have to be grateful of sharing a different and new opinion. That's true, but most people aren't. How long did you trade before it really clicked and you became profitable? I got started in 2022. I blew 3 accounts. One of them was over $20,000, and I never traded with prop firms or nothing. So I just blew my own money. I had paid for courses, paid for groups, paid for mentorship calls, paid for mentorship one-on-ones. I did it all. I did support and resistance, supply and demand. I went through ICT. I did all of this stuff, and then I stumbled upon the Strat. And my last few mentors, they trade the Strat. And I think from there, it was, the Strat and then smart money concepts. Once I understood that, hey, majority of the market is being moved by institutions, banks, hedge funds, people on Wall Street. If you can understand how they trade, then it'll be easier for you to understand where you should be getting in and out of your trades. I think once those few things started to once I learned those and and I really comprehended it, and then my risk to reward, after that, it was just okay, now I just got to follow the plan. And then now the byproduct of following the plan is just making money. So I would say, honestly, from 2021, blowing accounts and stuff, I quit, came back in the middle towards the end portion of 2022. And then just being consistent from there, I would say not 5 years, 3.5, to be completely transparent. I don't like to get people to be I don't like to tell people yeah, it only took me a year and I'm just blasting, rolling in money, nah. It just took a lot of time. But here's another thing I'll tell you. I started off long-term investing. I appreciate you, Kay. I started off long-term investing. So all of this stuff I'm showing you is great and all, but my overall goal is to make money from trading and throw everything at long-term. That is my goal. So other people's goals is to pay bills and stuff like that. Me, I'm trying to buy my time back. Every lump sum of money I get, I buy assets so it gives me my time back in the future. So the work that I did at 20 and 21 has bought me back all of my time during these times at 26. So now I don't work a job. I haven't worked a job since I was 20. You know what I'm saying? That's 6 years I haven't worked a job. And it's not from me having a rich parents or a rich family or anything, or coming from money or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just learning that money, if you could just take your money and go put it somewhere else that'll go make more money and just be patient, that's always going to be a better option for me personally. Okay. Check it out. How do I sign up for the link again? Okay, so look, I'm gonna show y'all again. All right. So you're in the stream right now, right? Whether you're on YouTube or on Instagram. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna click my account. Okay. You're gonna click the link tree option right here. You're gonna click it. Okay. You're gonna click link tree, which is the first link right there. You're gonna click the very first link that pops up. This one right here. This thumbnail. You're gonna click that and you're gonna register for a seat. So if I click it, it'll pull up what we're talking about. Click save my seat now and you can reserve it. It's free. Okay. Now another way to do this, I just added an application form on here, on my account. So if you go over to my account and you just click sign up, I think you can do it that way too. I'm not familiar with it. But yeah. Okay, cool. So do we understand all of this? Everything that I pretty much went over? Oh my God, 50,000 likes on TikTok. Guys, I'm beyond grateful for every single person who left a singular like. I'm beyond grateful. If you guys don't know right now, I am working on being a part of the top 1 percentile of TikTok live streams. And I'm still in the top 6% right now. Majority of the top 1% are averaging 100K likes. I just haven't been able to do that yet. But we're working on it, right? We're working on it. We're growing as a unit and as a community. And as long as I keep coming back and giving y'all game, if you like it, you'll start leaving likes. But that is my goal. You making, what's the name of the indicator that is marking out the highs and lows? This is called 50%er. 50%er. Right here. 50%er. So if you guys want to just screenshot this, the indicators that I personally use is the 50%er. So let me just delete these. So I don't use daily, weekly, kill zones. I don't use this level up algo. Lux algo, I use this. I don't use MACD. I don't use pivot points. I don't use RSI. I don't use Ripster clouds. Trend labels, I don't use those. Sadie ATR custom, I don't use that one. I use levels. Strat alerts, volume weighted average price. Take that. Okay, so these are my indicators. You can feel free to screenshot this. These are the indicators that I personally use on my chart. This is who they're by as well, so you can feel free to just screenshot it. And this is what I use for my indicators. So this should be an insane amount of value for those of you who are watching this right now, if you trade. So I'm giving you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go on. Now forever hold your peace. Strat alerts notifies me when there's a certain candlestick that appears. So if a 3-bar appears, I get a notification on my phone whenever it happens on the 4-hour, a daily, a 2-hour, a 1-hour time frame. And that way I could take those entries. Like, it's basically like a cha-ching. Like, hey, money is about to be made, right? And I could just go over to my chart and say, hey, there's a 3-bar on the 15-minute. And on top of that, it's around a previous day high and we swept liquidity and we're under VWAP. This is a high probability setup. Came straight to my phone. Amazing. Take the trade. Bada boom, bada bang. You know what I mean? Like, I try to keep things as simple as possible. So that's the one that I use for that. So yeah, that's what that is. This is Trading View. What's the one with the ups and down arrows on the time frame? Strat Assistant. Strat Assistant comes with the numbers and it comes with this. So let's explain this now. Let's explain this. Okay, so this is another component of the Strat. Okay, shout out to JR for putting me on the Strat alerts as well. JR Greatness, he put me onto that. I don't like to take credit for anything like stuff like that. I give credit where it's due. When I pay for his mentorship in his group, that's where I learned it from. So shout out to JR Greatness. Okay, so let's talk about another component of the Strat. So you guys obviously know the 3s and the 2s and the 1s. We understand that a candlestick is only going to move in 3 directions. It's either going to break higher, break lower, or it's going to consolidate. It's going to chop up. Okay, we already know that. Now, the next part of the Strat is something called time frame continuity. Think of it as like time frame continuation. Think of it like that, right? So what does this mean? So if I come over here, these will pop up when I'm using the indicator. And this is showing me a 15-minute time frame, the 30-minute time frame, the 1-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame, the day, week, month, and quarter. So why is it the arrows down and the arrows up? Well, what this is telling me is on the 30-minute time frame, it is currently bearish. On the 1-hour time frame, it is currently bearish. However, on the higher time frames, on the 4-hour, on the daily, we're currently bullish. On the weekly, we're bearish. On the month and the quarter, we're bullish. So what does this have to do with your trading though? Well, here's the thing. There's going to be times where all of these are the same color. So let's say all of them were red. So like when price starts to break lower down here, look what happens. And these flip, right? So looking at something like this, right? These are constantly flipping as price is breaking through certain levels. So if all of these are a certain color, it's called full time frame continuity. And basically what this means is your lower time frames are also in alignment with the higher time frames. And basically what that is telling you is that if you're looking at the trend, you should be looking at the trend from the higher time frame, and then the entries on the lower time frame should be the same as the higher. Does that make sense? So like if the 4-hour is bullish, right? Then you might be wanting to, like if the 15, 30 hour, 4-hour daily, like if all of these are bullish, you want to be looking for calls. If all of them are bearish, you want to be looking for puts. Does that make sense? So this is a way for you to know what the higher time frames are doing without switching in between those time frames all the time. Y'all tracking me or what? I don't know. I'm not seeing nothing in the chat, so I just want to make sure everybody's following along. Yo, greatly appreciate all the roses, Emmerich. I appreciate you. Shout out to everybody who donated coins and gifts and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate you guys. Okay. Makes sense? Okay, amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Do you teach this in your program? Absolutely. It's called Strat Assistant. Yes, I teach everything that I'm talking about right now is taught in depth inside of my community. So like if I were to pull it up over here, let's say I pull this up. Let's go over to full A to Z trading curriculum. So this is my curriculum in my group right here. Let me see if you guys can see this real quick. You can't. So let's just do this. Okay. So you guys should be able to see this. So this is inside of the School of Threaded Arts. It's also known as TSA. So if you guys ever hear me say TSA, this is what I mean. So within TSA, within my group, it's currently closed right now. So you can't join right now, but when it does unlock, I'll let you guys know. Okay. This is our beginners in investing trading course. This is 30 hours and 37 minutes long, right? This is 30 hours long. So some people be like, bruh, this is too much information. If you are like me, I like to binge watch information more than I binge watch what Young Thug is saying on a podcast. I don't care. I don't care. That has nothing to do with me. I need to move the bottom line for me. I don't like where I'm living. I don't like how I'm living. So I'm willing to sacrifice all the things that are not going to get me to where I'm trying to get to. Period. So with that being said, 30 hours for a lot of the people who are in my community, they're just more dedicated than you. And that is perfectly fine. But for those of you who are watching this in like 30 hours, that sounds like it's a lot of information. Well, let me show you what all is in here. So if you're a complete beginner to the market, we have a full beginner's guide. Like we have about 2 hours where it's just, hey, if you don't know what a stock is, you don't know what a share is, you don't know what liquidity is, if you don't know what like these key fundamental things are, if you don't know what any of those are, we teach all that stuff in the beginning. Next, we go over our risk management. So I've done classes with other traders who are 7 and 8 figure traders. So you'll see featured classes with them or partnered classes where they're only in my community. You can't find those recordings anywhere else. Then we go over like your toolkit. So all the things that you're going to need when you're trading, what, platforms you should be using, how to search on those platforms, how to navigate them, things that you want to watch out for, certain pages that I really like a lot. And then next we go into, your actual brokerages. So breaking down M1 Finance, Webull, Robinhood, how to use these platforms, all this good stuff. Next is chapter 4, technical analysis. If you don't know how to work TradingView, if you don't know how to customize your TradingView, if you don't know market structure, support and resistance, volume, liquidity, momentum, why you need ATR, what the Strat assistant is, how to trade the Strat. We give you like PDFs and stuff so you can download. Like all this stuff is stuff that you can like pretty much just download, like these PDFs, trading plans and stuff like that. I create all of this stuff for my community. You can pretty much just print them out, laminate them. I give you a guide to how to utilize them. Down here, we talk about Lux Algo, how to use smart money concepts, how to set up everything, what everything is. We break everything down very in depth. Next, we go over like choosing your options contract. So what an option contract is, how do you choose it? What Greeks you should be watching out for? How do you use ATR to choose options contracts? How out of the money contracts can get you 100 to 1,000% trades. We break all of this stuff down as well. High probability setups. This is where I go over all of my favorite setups. We have about 3 to 4 of them that are just my absolute favorites, and they work for me personally, so I just share what I know. So I break down all my high probability setups. For the people who work a 9 to 5 or they have families and things like that, you're so smart. I appreciate you. For those of you who work a 9 to 5 or you have a family to take care of and you can't sit at the chart all the time, we have a full swing trading section where we show you guys how to swing trade, so you're not having to sit at the market all day long and sit there and watch charts and get in and get out where we are. We can show you how to take a trade and sit in it for a week or 2 weeks. I have different traders who are in my community who specialize in swing trading, so they teach as well inside of my group. We go over like a pre-market prep, how one ticker can completely change your life. So how I went from trading earnings to then trading just QQQ to now only trading SPX, and this is just where I landed at, and this is where I'm going to be at. How to get 200 to 2,000% trading XPX, certain indicators that can help you. We even have an AI that can help scan the market for you. So if you like trading 3 bars or failed 2s, we have a scanner within my group that scans the entire market. So that way you can take the trades that are specifically for you within a click of a button instead of going through 10,000 different charts over a 5-hour time period. You can just click one button. All of your favorite setups will come up on the chart. You can just go chart them out and you can take those trades when they trigger. Then we have like other ones where we connect all the dots. We're going over trades that I messed up on or that I lost money on, trades that I made money on. And then we have like more advanced sections where we talk about broadening formations. And then we even have sections where it's just like, this is a completely separate course. This is just all class recordings. So like over 9 hours of information. We got another one that's getting added in there from tonight. But these are all class recordings that you can go through. Back testing, how to back test, 1 hour time frame for QQQ, how to use the 1:30 p.m. orb, motivational stuff, how to affect the bottom line to grow your account. Like all of this stuff is all in the community. And this isn't even the Discord portion. This is just the curriculum. But again, the group is currently closed. So unfortunately, although all of this looks really good, we're currently not accepting members because I like to keep quality control in check. So I like to make sure every person who does come in, they have a phenomenal experience. And this is why y'all don't hear bad stuff going around about my name and my community and stuff. It's like every person that comes in, I make sure I have a dedicated team member to onboard them. We make sure that they get the best experience possible. We make sure that they're getting through the curriculum. And then we open up slots when we feel like, hey, we're able to take on more people. So as of right now, we are currently at capacity. We'll open up spots. What we'll do is we'll probably open up spots. Not probably. We're going to open up spots on the live workshop. So if all of this looks like something that you really like and you really want to take advantage of, again, all you have to do is go click the link that you're on to my account. So you just click this link, you go to my account, you click the link in my bio, right? Click the link in my bio, and then you click the very first link right there. And then this is how you register and save your live seats for the workshop, okay? Does that make sense, everybody? Can somebody let me know how many people we got in our TikTok live right now? Let me know how many people we got in the TikTok live right now. Just realized I gotta wake up early as shit tomorrow. Oh my God. 194? Okay, lit. Cool. Hello. Salutations if you've never seen me before. I know some people who just randomly scroll past my page definitely just swiped after I said that. You are the first person that I've seen that has a group that I'm interested in. I've never joined a group. Oh, that's pretty lit. Alina, there's a free version of my group as well. So here, I'll show y'all the free version. And I personally believe that my free version is better than everyone else's paid stuff. So if it's not, you can feel free to tell me if not. But this is the free section. So this is also in my bio. The free section, beginners trading course, it's about 7 hours and 51 minutes. So here's the thing. There are people who are charging you thousands of dollars and are giving you 2-hour videos on how to do a craft that takes years to master. If it's not extensive curriculum, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get everything you need out of it. Like, just being completely honest with you. It's not to throw shade to nobody else or how their curriculum is set up or nothing. But like what I've learned is like, it's going to take time to learn everything. So if it's not in depth, you're missing parts, which will end up affecting you while you're trading. So like even in my beginner's curriculum, this is 7 hours long. And this is just like scratching the surface based off of my knowledge of the market. So everything that I'm giving you are things that I've learned personally. So like in the beginning curriculum, you get like a full A to Z trading course, a walkthrough of setting up your charts. This is 2 hours long by itself. I'll walk you through the strat. So to understand the numbers and all that stuff on my chart, I'll show you that. Breaking down winning trades and scenarios, how to swing trade. And then I also have some PDFs. So like this is an ebook. This is free. So you can, all of this is free. All of this is free. All of this. You just click the link in my bio. It'll say something like join the free Discord and you'll get all of this right here, 100% free. You'll even get access to like call outs that I do in the mornings time. Sometime I'll send out like 1 or 2 plays a week that you guys can take on your own. All I ask is that when you win, just screenshot it, throw it up in the free Discord just so other people in there see that you're hitting green or positive trades or profitable trades as well. Or you're winning trades. I don't know why I was just stuttering so bad. All right. 56,000 likes. That's lit, man. Yo, real quick, if you guys have not hit the follow button, hit the follow button right now. What platform do you use your group on? This is WAP, Discord and WAP. So all of our curriculum is in WAP. And then the Discord and where everyone communicates, that is in Discord. Hey, real quick, how you guys like the lights in the back? I know y'all can't really see the pictures and stuff, but like I am slowly but surely working on the aesthetic portions of my streaming setup. So let me know how you guys like it. You know, I think it's pretty lit. Y'all can't really see what it says, but it looks pretty cool with the lights in the back, right? I mean, I could change the colors. Now, the one person I don't want to be is the person on the stream with stuff like this. Like, I don't want to be this person popping up on your feed. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I feel like if you are, you know what I'm saying, trading and it looks like this, I don't know what's going on. I'm not the teacher for you. I keep things simple. We ain't about to be doing all the fades and multiple colors. I mean, red, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. When you change it to red, you know, blue, you know what I'm saying? Or orange, blue. I think they are pretty lit. And then I'm just keep it at like the white, you know what I'm saying? Clippers, clip it. All right, that's how I know it's time for me to get off here. It's time for me to go ahead, get off here. All the people I'm over here teaching, and now I messed up again. You should be on Twitch too. I am on Twitch. I'm on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. I am truly a character, truly. Yeah, I'm tweaking right now. This is actually going up on YouTube as a recording. So, editors, edit this part out. What's the 9:53? So last 2 minutes, edit out. Cool. Actually, the red looks nice with your chair. I think so too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should do something like that. Ooh, nah. I don't know how to. The other one's not working. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much. No problem. Where you going live this week or when? Tomorrow we might live trade with y'all. The only issue with live trading is that when I live trade with my Discord on Zoom. And for some reason, unless one of you are a tech person, I don't know how to stop my mic from like tweaking out. I don't know if I need to connect a different mic to my computer while I'm on this stream and stuff. I don't know what needs to go on, but like when I'm streaming and I'm live on here, the mic will get staticky for y'all. And you know, I want it to be good for both groups, TSA, Zoom, and those of you who are on the stream. So I just got to figure that part out. But once I get that figured out, we're going to be, you know, trading live more often. Last week we traded live 3 days out of the week. All 3 days we ended up closing green. One of them we were sitting in red for a little minute, I ain't gonna lie. But if you were in that day, you got a chance to see how just being patient can pay off. Just saying, you can go back and rewatch all of it on YouTube. You can see my entries, you can see my exits, you can see my reactions. You can see everything on my YouTube. So it's Dantes Akram on YouTube. Great, love when you trade. We'll look for you on YouTube, TikTok. Thank you, I appreciate that. Learn this skill. LOL, this guy just went red and told his editor to edit it out. I mean, I went red on the lights, you know? Not red trading. All trades that we took live yet last week were green. And it's not gonna always happen. It's just that was what happened. Are you still gonna do the live trading challenge? Yes. I gotta figure out what day I'm gonna launch it though. I need to get the account set up. Why no MACD in your trading? Too much on my chart. With my strategy and how I trade, I don't need the MACD. When is your next class? Probably do one tomorrow. We'll probably do one tomorrow. How do we join the Discord? Discord is currently closed. The free Discord is in my bio though. The free Discord is in my bio. And then the workshop is also in my bio. So I'll give you guys some time to go ahead and go knock that out right now. When I get off of this stream, if you learned anything at all and you want to partake in any of those, just as soon as I click off of here, just go to my page, register for the workshop, and go to the live trading or the free group. Get as much information from there as possible. Even if you don't know too much about me, go through it. You'll get some information from there. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I greatly appreciate everybody for pulling up. If you haven't registered and reserved your seat, go ahead and go do so. Other than that, I love you guys dearly. If you need anything from me, you can shoot me over a DM.